Okay.
You bald fucker.
You Davy Jones looking. You git. No, I'll tell you what, the audience, if they stick with it, they can have some fun.
You're gonna have fun in editing that.
I'm just going to leave most of this shit in. Yeah.
I'm afraid of that, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of as well.
Welcome down to the abyssal lair of the Radiophonic Sea Creatures. Wrap your lips around a dirty meat trumpet and toot out your best rendition of I'm a Little Teapot, because I'm Choo-Choo, going to be your host today. And with me, as always, are a bunch of twirling, tooty-donning prima donnas and above the booting, beat down, smack down, slag down, human mutters, mother spreaders all around town. It's Human Metal and Brak. Hooray! Today on The Depths, we actually have a kind of a special episode for you. We are going to be talking about game soundtracks. So
again!
Yes, we did talk about this before, but we're going to talk about it again because, you know, you can't just love 3 soundtracks. You got to love like a fucking million soundtracks, game soundtracks. And so, hence, we're going to go for another round of really great game soundtracks.
And probably again so in the future.
Yes, indeed. So we've each got 3 choices of tracks or soundtracks that just, you know, blew our minds back in the day. And actually, I'm going to go first this time, which is unusual. I mean, I'm not saying I'm sloppy seconds or sloppy thirds. Okay, where the ladies are concerned, I'm always the first, best.
Yes, you're always the first to come with the latest, as the latest concerned. Yeah, that's what Human Metal's mother told me.
And the last, because then I murder him after I'm done with him. But anyway, now we're going to talk about... I'm getting all fucked up here.
My parents are dead.
So,
wait, you also had sex with your father?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Human Metal, you did check your closet. Oh, finally. Jesus. My first choice
They have been there for years, Human Metal. You only find out now?
I hate cleaning.
Yeah, that's 'cause, Human Metal never... I tell you what, the clothes Human Metal were wearing today, they smell worse than Brak's vagina mouth. I mean, we're talking like it make you sick just to sniff that shit. So anyway, my first choice of fantastic video game soundtrack is surprisingly, perhaps, Snowboard Kids. So I'm sure almost nobody knows what Snowboard Kids is, but it was basically a kart racer on the N64, but instead of kart racing, you were on snowboards. Yeah, and you picked up power-ups and you shot each other. And basically slalom down to the hill, and I think it was like a 3-lap race. You'd like hit the ski lift when you got down to the bottom, and you go all the way back up to the top and restart again. And the thing is, the problem with that game is it made absolutely no fucking difference what position you were in on the way down to the course, because there would be this endless tussle when you got to the bottom of the course trying to get on the ski lift. Everybody just like be smacking into each other, knocking each other over, and whoever got on the fucking ski lift first would basically be the winner. That was the major like oversight in that game.
And so it's hilarious and raging and stupid at the same time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was hilarious. Everybody would save their power-ups like just before. If you were playing in multiplayer, everybody saved their power-ups just for the last very second as you crossed the finish line to stitch over the competitors and get on the ski lift first. It was a lot of fun back in the day. But, you know, I bought the game by mistake because Snowboard Kids, I thought it was about a whole bunch of fucking crack addicts sniffing cocaine, but that's what but apparently it wasn't. Anyway, so yes, the one really great thing about Snowboard Kids was it had a fucking kick-ass soundtrack. I mean, it really did. It had a really, really memorable soundtrack that, like, I remember to this day, like, in my head. Like, whenever I see images of that game, I have those tunes pumping through my brain, and you're going to hear probably, I think, the best cut of that soundtrack, which is on the track Big Snowman right now. So that was short and sweet. I hope you can agree that that's a pretty great track. Remember that that's actually best heard when you're actually like thundering down. Well, actually not thundering, because that is to be honest, it does move pretty slowly, that game. But
as some N64 games do.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly F-Zero. Let's just say that. But,
glorious 15 frames per second or something.
But it was a fun game. That was. But the soundtrack, yeah, just fantastic. However, coming on from a game, a slightly kind of average game, like it was fun with a great soundtrack, to a fucking absolutely fucking amazing game with a fucking amazing soundtrack, no questions asked. Human Metal, what's on your list?
On my list is Shovel Knight, and I'm specifically going with a theme here for my three music choices. And I picked Shovel Knight first because overall the soundtrack is fantastic. It's done by Jake Kaufman, who has done also composed the music for the remaster of DuckTales, for Mighty Switch Force, for Double Dragon Neon. He has done a lot of awesome soundtracks, and yeah, this is his best probably. And since not only because it's very Nintendo Entertainment System inspired, and I love me some retro music, but also it's a bunch of amazing tracks that very fit the game very well. All the different stages and everything. The bosses even have like remixed versions of the stage themes. I just love how that soundtrack is approached and how it works out in the end. It's just fantastic, retro soundtrack that could have been not quite on the NES because it's super high quality, but still really amazing. I like it. And what I went for with is the intro stage, because, starting off my picks, how would you want to go into a game that is pretty much an action platformer, that's pretty action based? You want a theme in the first stage that gets you right in there, that tells you this is what this game about, this is how the action's gonna play out, and the music is gonna show you exactly what the action in that game feels like, and it gets you right in there. Say, hey, here, adventure spirit, let's shovel out some treasure, let's fight off some baddies, and that's how that song feels to me. It's called Strike the Earth, Plains of Passage, and it's the intro stage from Shovel Knight. Listen to it now. So, what a fantastic way to get you into a game. What do you guys think about, the music of Shovel Knight, maybe in general, and this intro stage theme? Does it get you pumped up for the game?
Yeah, sure. Like, Shovel Knight music feels like the best Mega Man music you haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
So, it's a really good compilation of songs, and I really enjoyed it while playing it. But I'm not like, I probably won't listen to it outside of the game, but while playing it, I really had a good time with the songs.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't listen to much bit tunes in my own free time for entertainment, but god damn it, those tracks work like fucking gangbusters when you're playing the game. It's just full of great tunes that really kind of help you like get through the levels. You know what I mean? Because there's a kind of like a beat and a kind of like
it's driving you forward.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it is with those old games. And the plus on the other side of things, as well as having a kick-ass soundtrack, I just have to maintain that Shovel Knight was just one of the best 2D platform games of all time. Hence, it was my game of the year like 2 years ago. That game just is so fucking good, and there's not a bad beat in that whole entire fucking game. Least of all the soundtrack, because the soundtrack just kicks ass, and yeah,
Indeed.
Brilliant.
And now from an amazing retro chiptune soundtrack to something space-themed, I believe, Brak?
Yes, not just space-themed, it's space western themed.
Nice.
That's like peanut butter and jelly, two great tastes that taste great together. And it's from a game called Starhawk, which is a pretty decent like space western game. By the way, space western doesn't really make any sense, like the game plot, because everybody lives in like this small ass western town, but they have the power to like get like giant machines out of the sky, like teleport giant machines out of the sky. It's like, if you can teleport giant machines and giant buildings out of the sky, why would you still live in a shitty ass western town? That makes no sense. But just forget about it for a second, because the theme is great. It's really like orchestral space western, and it feels great when you just like go in your spaceship, shoot some baddies up, jump out, shoot some other people in the face. Amazing. So let's go listen to this right now. What do you guys think about this song?
I think it's very nice. It sounds like it kind of belongs in Red Dead Redemption, and somehow with all the space and the Western stuff, really makes me want to watch Firefly again.
Yeah, it's got a nice like epic feel to it. Like after the build up to at first when you get the classic guitar Western sounds that you're used to in those Western esque series and stuff like that, it really builds up the orchestral stuff and everything. I like that quite a lot. Gets you pumped up again. So I want to shoot some baddies in space when I hear that.
who does it. I always want to shoot baddies in space.
Yeah, that's right.
But next up
That's a goddamn true story.
Next up is a song from Choo Choo. I think it's like Dragon Force or some bullshit like that. So yeah, take it away,
Yes.
Choo Choo.
Yes, storming through the burning fields. No, not that Dragon Force. We're going for the other Dragon Force.
Wait, was that
game.
was that the band?
Yeah, Dragon Force. Yeah, storming through the burning fields.
But I think they got the name from that game, right?
Sega Saturn game. Yes, they did. They actually that band, that terrible, awful, fucking high pitched piece of noise.
I like them.
Oh, they suck so bad. Human Metal, come on. Anyway, if you're a huge fan of Dragon Force, the band, I'm sorry, but go hang yourself. Dragon Force on the Sega Saturn, which the metal band Dragon Force took the name from, is literally the best game on the Sega Saturn. There is no other game on the Sega Saturn that is as good as Dragon Force. It's a completely underrated game. But no, not underrated, because the people who played it fucking love it. Everybody who ever played that game loves it. The only fact is that nobody fucking played that game.
Because nobody owned a Saturn.
So nobody loves it. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, no. Basically, the Saturn was like the niche console, and Dragon Force was the niche game on the niche console, which means that almost nobody played it. But every single person that did play it fucking loved it. That's why it has a hardcore following to this day. The game is phenomenal. Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself an emulator and play that shit. I played it 2 years ago on emulator. It hasn't lost a step. It's got a beautiful anime graphics. It looks perfect. It's got that same thing as like Shovel Knight or whatever. You know, it's got that kind of like those sprites that never die. They always look charming. It's got beautiful anime cutscenes, like these excellent drawings and stuff. You know, it's got like, you know, text boxes galore.
Doesn't it have like these crazy mass sprite battles?
Yes, it does. Where there are 200 sprites on screen at the same time.
Crazy.
202, in fact. Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. And added to which,
how do you know it's 202?
because the maximum soldiers you can have per side is 100, 100 plus the general you're playing as, which means 202. Simple math, Brak. There's this thing called math. Anyway,
Crystal math or just normal math?
Yes. Crystal math, yes,
Okay.
crystal math. I like that, the best kind of math. Get high and fuck with numbers. You see them all float in front of your face, like sixes and nines, 69. Love it. So anyway, Dragon Force. Like, seriously, if you haven't played Dragon Force, go play it on an emulator. It's free. Just download it. Go play it. I promise you, the 30 hours you put into that game will eat your life. You will not see sunshine until you finish that game. It is that good. It's like fucking heroin. It's brilliant. And it's cathartic, and it's relaxing, and the soundtrack totally reflects that. So I'm going to play you... In Dragon Force, there are 7 characters you can choose from. 7 monarchs, and basically there are basically 7 campaigns you can go through in Dragon Force. Each with their... They all go through the same story, but they each go through like with their own spin on the story. And their own sort of like intense rivalries with different particular other monarchs and stuff. It's fabulous the way like the stories interweave. It's brilliant. But basically each main character has an overworld theme. So a lot of the time you'll be on the map theme, deciding which armies to send off to which castles or whatever. Yeah. And each character has their own dedicated music theme. So I'm going to play you Mikkel's theme, not because it's the best one in the game or anything, but simply it was literally the last character I played as a couple of years ago, which so that theme tune is like burned in my memory.
Sounds very like I don't want to call it cliche, but very cliche Japanese. So that's what I thought of, like with the standard instruments that I would think of when I think of a Japanese character or a samurai themed character.
But that's it. Mikkel is the samurai themed character in the game. I mean, all of the characters have a distinct theme. There's the monk character. There's like a monster guy with like the big claws who lives in the forest, like, you know, like the wild guys. There's the kind of the more metropolitan bad guy, the main bad guy, Goldark, who's kind of got like a more metropolitan theme. And there's the big like Western style like hero with the huge like broadsword and the flowing blonde hair. He's got like that type of theme that reflects. There's the pixie girl has got like a pixie theme, and there's a dark girl in the north who has like a whose name is Junon, actually. The character who lives in the north in Dragon Force, her name is Junon. My second daughter's name is Junon, so total nerd attack, named after a character in Dragon Force, my second daughter. The warrior, the black warrior princess of death who lives in the north, up in the mountains in Dragon Force. Badass. So there you have it. I'm sure you're ready now to pick up a katana and commit seppuku. Don't do that because that's suicide.
Pass.
So from one Japanese JRPG to another, Human Metal. What's on your list?
So we got a nice intro theme. So we're now firmly into a game, and the next step would be where the game really opens up to you and shows you everything it's got to offer. So I picked a music that
and just to say, in the case of Human Metal's mother, that's nasty teeth. Imagine basically the pit of Sarlacc.
Okay. Anyway, so I picked a theme, a musical choice that encompasses that a bit. So from Xenoblade Chronicles, the big sprawling Wii JRPG. By Monolith, and that when you first start up the game, you start out like in this small-ish colony-esque town, and just, do your quests around that, and move around in the town, do some side quests here and there, and slay some monsters. But after, some stuff in the story happens, you actually leave that town and travel up this, this giant... this giant where the game is set on, basically the whole game is set on like on these two battling now dead giants, and somehow life, is people are able to live on them. So they travel to a different location that's basically set on the leg of one of those giants, and it's this big sprawling area, like with mountains around it, and it's just grass everywhere and giant creatures walking through the grass, and it's amazing. The first time you enter that area, you are blown away by the scale of that game, because especially since it's on a Wii, you wouldn't expect the Wii to be capable of something like that. But the field of view is amazingly wide. It's just you just really feel like you're getting thrown into a giant new world, especially after, the kind of smallish beginning. And the music in that moment, when you like walk on the Gore plains, and that's what that theme is called, is fucking amazing. It's like really like, okay, now your adventure begins. Now the game opens up. Now you see what this is all about. And it's fucking fantastic. It's composed by, the whole soundtrack of Xenoblade Chronicles is fantastic, and is composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, who also has done the soundtrack to, for example, Chrono Trigger, which is also an amazing soundtrack, and also the Xenogears game, and lots of other stuff. He's a big player in terms of composing music for games, and especially JRPGs. So again, great stuff here, and don't have anything more to add. Just listen to that song and imagine a giant sprawling field opening up in front of you, because the music perfectly shows you or lets you imagine that, in my opinion. So here you go. So, after 2 JRPGs, we're gonna get more onto the Western side again, I guess. And Brak is gonna talk about the soundtrack to the, well, spiritual sequel to a game I very much enjoyed, which was Bastion. So, Brak?
Okay, so, the song I picked is from Transistor. And like Human Metal already said, it's from the soundtrack is from the same person that made the soundtrack for Bastion. Only I like this one a little bit better, actually.
Actually, really? Because I think I still prefer the Bastion soundtrack a bit more. That's interesting.
I prefer the Transistor soundtrack, actually. I prefer the entire game, to be honest.
Okay, I haven't played the game on this soundtrack.
I really like Bastion, but I prefer Transistor both, like the soundtrack and the gameplay.
Okay.
But the reason I like it more is because it's actually more in my wheelhouse. It's like very much like that's really pretty slow, cyberpunkish music, and especially every once in a while they put the song in there which has the vocals of the main character who in the game who is a singer, and it's very noirish. You know, it feels like the song could come from like a 60s black and white noir movie where the femme fatale is singing in like a lounge bar. The music feels very much like that, only with like a cyberpunk twist to it. So let's have a listen to that. So that was the song. Do you guys want to say anything about it?
Well, I already...
Choo-choo, for example.
Choo-choo first, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the track. I mean, I really enjoyed the part where it kind of really reminded me of Bastion, where it was like.
No, that's the wrong Bastion.
Oh,
You drunk fuck. Anyway, yeah, I like the soundtrack of Transistor. Like I already said, I like Bastion. It's a bit more. Maybe it's just the theme. I don't know. The one for Bastion feels a bit more, I don't know, westerny again, fantasy-ish, and maybe I like the vocal tracks more too. But then again, I haven't played Transistor, so if I had like the pictures in my mind accompanying the music, maybe the impression would be a bit stronger there. I only listened to the soundtrack of Transistor. I haven't played the game, so maybe, yeah, that will be upgraded too. I already like the soundtrack. Maybe I will like it more after I've played the game.
yeah, I like Bastion too, except when he's camped out on that fucking floating platform.
Overwatch on his mind, Overwatch.
So
All
let's
the time.
go to the next song, which is probably some crazy metal shit that Human Metal has picked.
Yeah, of course. I have to live up to my name. And because those two fucks want to go head to head with each other for some reason.
Yeah. Join the mouth of bastard. I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna have you, Longshanks.
I'm gonna go again and be the first pick for the last round here. Of course. Okay, we had an intro theme that got you into the game. We got a theme for the part of the game where the game really opens up and shows you what it's got. And now, of course, we have to end the game. Shut up, Choo Choo. With final. Shut up. I know. We know what you're thinking. Shut the fuck up. All right. So we have to end the game with the final. Can I kick him out of the call somehow? Anyway,
you can.
Anyway, we have. I could mute him, of course, and then I'm sending the recording.
Yes.
I'm sending him the recording anyway. So I'm gonna mute Choo Choo now.
All right.
Anyway, I don't know how to mute just one dude. Anyway, so, okay, of course you have to end the game, in my opinion, with a final boss. And a good final boss needs a great theme that makes you actually want to fight that stupid asshole. And yeah, I picked the theme from a fighting game from Blaze Blue. The first incarnation of that, which is called Calamity Trigger. And the final boss theme is called Awakening the Chaos. It's played when you fight the final boss called New 13, I believe is her name, which is this weird mecha girl with blades all over her body. And yeah, she's an asshole, and she likes to kill you very violently, especially if you're the main character Ragnar. But anyway, yeah, it's a horrible and frustrating fight, but the song makes it a bit better because I like it a lot. The whole soundtrack of Blaze Blue is like this kind of rock/metal opera-ish soundtrack. Guilty Gear, which was done by the same people who did this, already kind of ventured in that territory, though I would say Guilty Gears is leaning more towards the actual, heavy metal hard track. This is a bit more opera-ish. And yeah, I like that. I like that combination. And Awakening the Chaos is probably like the ultimate version of that. So yeah, make of that what you will. It's a pretty peculiar sound. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people gonna like it, though I think Choo Choo liked at least some of the Blaze Blue songs. And yeah, I love this track. I think it starts out like really nice and slow and still with this epic opera voice, and then it gets into the rock and metal vibes, and I just like a good build-up in a song, and I think Awakening the Chaos has that as well. Right, the whole soundtrack is composed by Daisuke Ishiwatari, who also, I think, produced and directed the games, Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, and he does everything. He's a giant fan of heavy metal. All the super moves in those games are named after heavy metal bands. Or, for example, Kai Kiske from Guilty Gear has a super move called Ride the Lightning, which is the name of a Metallica album, obviously. So yeah, the games are full with references to heavy metal stuff and rock stuff. So yeah, listen to the song. If that's not your music at all, maybe tune out for a bit here. But yeah, I like it, and I think it's a great final boss theme. Gets you hyped up, and even if you've lost to New for like the 30th time or something, maybe that song will motivate you to try to beat her again. So that was some kick right into your eardrums. And what do you guys think about the BlazBlue soundtrack in general?
The only thing clear that I've ever heard in my life is Choo Choo's voice.
All right.
So, there's that.
There you go. What we knew beforehand. And Choo Choo, I know you said to me that you at least liked some of the BlazBlue stuff. I'm not sure if that song is part of it.
Yeah, well, I like some of the BlazBlue soundtrack. Yeah, it's a decent soundtrack, but I think more than the soundtrack, actually, I quite like the game. It was a really, really fantastic fighting game, and I have this one memory, which, because we rarely talk about BlazBlue or anything like that on this podcast, so I will quickly share my best memory of BlazBlue with you.
Sure.
Which is when, I bought BlazBlue through the on the PS3 because I was looking for a fighting game that wasn't Street Fighter to get into, and BlazBlue seemed like a good alternative, so it was a ton of fun. I loved that game. I think my chosen character is Rachel. And I got really good at her, and I finished the game with her, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I was in the Japanese arcade. I came across a cabinet of BlazBlue. I was like, oh, yeah, shit, fucking awesome. I want to play this. So I started playing as, Kane in the computer, no problem, rarely getting hit. So I was like, yeah, I'm the king of BlazBlue. And there was this Japanese guy who was just watching me, patiently. And eventually just lost patience and sat down. Because in Japan, actually, the cabinets aren't next to each other. They're opposite each other. So you can't see your opponent's screen, which is interesting. So he just sat down, new challenger. I was like, oh, yeah, wicked cool. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's the last time I ever played a Japanese boy in the arcade at a fighting game.
You should have known.
I was on a high, and then suddenly I was on a low. Man, he whipped my ass with no mercy. Fucking hell. Whoa, that boy could play BlazBlue quite well. So, I had to very sheepishly, kind of abandon the cabinet. It's this was all a fever dream. This wasn't me.
But apparently it didn't make you hate the game, so...
Nah, I love the game. It's a great fighting game. And it's got a kick-ass soundtrack, like you say.
Yep.
Hey, I guess it's my turn to bring in...
Right, you guys wanna have a fight here, a music fight.
Yes. I have a personal vendetta against Vagina Mouth here, who thinks he knows everything about music, and keeps putting Axiom Verge's soundtrack down, and says it's shit compared to his choices. And I say, fuck you, Brak. Fuck you, Vagina Mouth. You're completely wrong. Axiom Verge.
What it sounds like right now is that you want to put a wall around me and want me to pay for it, because you remind me of another drunk loudmouth at the moment.
Brak, if it keeps
Shoot
your
you has better hair.
Vagina Mouth stink in a confined space, I'll put a wall around you. Sure, no problem.
To be fair, Choo Choo has better hair than Donald Trump.
I don't think that's true.
Barely.
I would literally kill for Donald Trump's hair.
He killed his dog for his hair.
Hey. I think if the one you kill is Donald Trump, I think nobody would care.
Yeah, well, certainly not the Mexicans.
The problem is, I didn't say anything shitty about Axiom Verge. It was just Axiom Verge is the best music of all time. Blah blah blah. Axiom.
I didn't say that.
Axiom Verge is the good last. Blah blah blah. Axiom Verge. It's like, nah, you know what? I think I like my songs better. But the Choo Choo was like, no. My song is the best. I'm getting so angry.
No, that's not true, Brak. That's not how it went down.
I'm getting angry because people don't agree with my opinion right now. So that's what happened. And that's how all of a sudden we got a fight going on. And the only problem is, my favorite song of this episode is the one in Transistor. That's the one I like the most. But for some reason, Choo Choo wants to fight between my second favorite song in this episode, which is the song from Child of Light. It's going to play last. And Choo Choo wants to fight that for some reason. I don't know. How can songs fight? It doesn't work like that, Choo Choo. You crazy bastard.
I go WWE style. I go for a triple threat. I go through Transistor versus Axiom Verge versus Child of Light. I'll take 2-on-1. Fuck it. But basically that's not how it went, Brak. You were pretty dismissive of Axiom Verge, you fuck. You smelly fish-faced fuck.
Choo Choo, I would like to correct you and say that would actually be more of a handicap match, because 2 of those songs belong to Brak and only 1 belongs to you, so it's a handicap match and not a triple threat. Thank you very much.
So he doesn't even know he's fucking wrestling.
I will take. Hey, it's Zack Ryder and fucking Fandango versus Stone Cold Steve Austin here. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. We see where this is going. Anyway,
you're not Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stunners for everyone.
Just because you're a bald fuck doesn't make you Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, it does. That's a fact. Don't, Brak. Do not play with my dreams here. This is serious. I am Stone Cold Steve Austin. Actually, to be honest, I never liked him much. But anyway,
your music choices are as good as Steve Austin's movie career. It's fucking shit.
Anyway, getting on to the point in hand, Axiom Verge is a fucking phenomenal game. It was my game of the year last year, and added to which, it has a phenomenal soundtrack. Phenomenal. And added to which, this is even more genius. The soundtrack was created by Thomas Happ, the same guy who made the game. So one single guy in his fucking basement made that game, that perfect fucking game, and that soundtrack. Just one guy. Whether you like the soundtrack or don't like it, or like the game or don't like it, that motherfucker has some talent.
At least he does something productive in his basement, unlike just locking up girls like you do in your basement.
Yeah, or like you, just wazzing off your red raw weenie, you stupid fish mouth fuck. I love the word fish mouth fuck. It just sounds so nice. You fish mouth fuck. Like, just say it. It's just good to say. You fish mouth fuck, Brak. You vagina mouth. You spotty ass wrinkly fish mouth bastard.
You bald, ugly motherfucker.
Guys,
old, ugly motherfucker.
Can we get back to the music, please?
Yeah,
I would appreciate that.
The sweet.
You can tear each other apart after the show.
Anyway, well, we both tore your mother apart, human metal, so we're all good there. Anyway, that's something we have in common.
Why?
So there you go. That was the awesome. I think it was called Inexorable. It's really hard to pronounce. From the Axiom Verge soundtrack, fucking amazing. What did you guys think? What did you guys Brak? What did you guys think? Not you, Brak. Fuck you. Human Metal. You don't get to speak, Brak. You stinky vagina mouth. Brak. No, Human Metal. Fuck. Punk.
Anyway, I still haven't listened. I haven't listened to the whole soundtrack yet. But thanks for reminding me. I need to do that. But yeah, the track is nice. And what I find most interesting about the music in Axiom Verge that I have heard about it is that the one of the most annoying things in games is when your life meter gets drained and then it starts to beep. And I heard that is incorporated into the music in Axiom Verge, and I think that's a pretty interesting idea. And I would like to experience that firsthand. So yeah, that's a neat thing. I would like more games to do that instead of giving you a beep 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 every time you get down to 1 HP or something. So yeah, that's good idea.
Absolutely right, Human Metal. I totally glazed over that fact, but that's right. When you're in a boss fight or something, or anywhere, when you like start, your health meter gets low, like it gets more urgent the lower your health goes, but it's still exactly in time with the music. Bum 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 bum. It's fucking amazing. It's great. It just, yeah, it's great.
Right.
What a great little touch. Vagina mouth. Opinions. Not that I fucking care.
See, I kind of like the song. There's nothing wrong with the song. Like, even my hatred for your stupid, bald motherfucking face doesn't make me dislike the song. It's an okay song. I just like my songs better. That's all.
No. My bold motherfucking face is going to hit your bold motherfucking face, and your glasses are going to crack. You ain't going to see shit, and I'm going to kick you right in the balls while you fiddle about with your glasses, you fuck.
Okay.
Like, actually, I have hair. I'm not the bald motherfucking. I have hair. I know you're jealous. It reminds me. It reminds you of like 20 years ago or something, or 30 years ago when you still had hair on your face. But
one day, I'm gonna fly to Holland. I swear to God, and I'm gonna sneak into your house in the middle of the night. I'm gonna shave your fucking hair off. You sick.
I mean, you know what happens then?
I'm gonna make a wig out of it, and I'm gonna give it to Human Metal's mother.
A month later, I will have hair again. You would still be bald. So. But
and you're gonna make Mexico pay for your flight.
Let's quit talking about Choo Choo's shitty hair. Let's talk about a great song. Let's talk about the music of Child of Light. Great game, beautiful art style, amazing music, very nice fantasy, classical fantasy music. Let's go listen to it right now. So that was Child of Light. Do any of you want to say anything about it? Actually, does Human Metal want to say anything about it? I don't care what Tutu has to say.
I got something to say about it.
Human Metal, take it away.
Yeah, like you already said, it's a very nice fantasy soundtrack. I like the the piano note and everything. It's it's very soothing. Child of Light is one of the games that's still on my backlog list, obviously with all the other games. But yeah, it looks really nice, and the music seems to accompany the game's visuals really well, and the style and the atmosphere. So I'm looking forward to not only playing the game, but listening to the full soundtrack, because that's really like seems really relaxing and really nice and atmospheric music. So yeah.
Well, yes, Brak, that was very nice. I do like a piece of nice piano-based music. It sounds very atmospheric and very relaxing. I quite like the track, I have to say. But fuck you. Fuck you, vagina mouth. But yeah, there we have it. So, sound off in the comments section. Who is the king of the soundtracks here? Brak with his Transistor, or Child of Light, or the Choo Choo? You know I'm the king. You know I'm the best. Yeah.
King of shit. The king of boldness.
King of boldness. I'll go for that. I'll go for the king of anything, quite frankly. The king of shit, a bit shaky. King of boldness, I'll go for that. Because, like, Jason Statham under me as the king of boldness, I'm all good, baby.
That's what you like, huh? You would love to have Jason Statham under you.
Yeah, I would. I'd just say, oi, Statham, get my coffee. Statham, do my washing up. Statham, suck my dick. Hey, I'm no gayist.
Were you trying to make it to do something like to the account of racist and
homophobe? That's the one.
Yeah, there you go.
So have fun with your ball bang, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I can get Statham, give me like
not a gayist. Oh, actually, that should be the episode title. I'm not a gayist. Oh, you idiot!
Anyway, yes, we have reached the end of the Radiophonic Sea Creatures, so obviously I'm drunk. So sound off in the comment section. Who has the best track here? We're all going to war on the Radiophonic Sea Creatures, as you heard over the last 2-3 hours, whatever the fuck this episode length is. And please join us next time you find yourself confronted with a hallucinogenic image of Brak's skanky pubic hair tentacles reaching out for you, begging you for death.